Now let's get some more analysis. I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Makram Rabah. He's a lecturer at the American University of Beirut. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on Asia Today.
Good evening.
Now, first of all, what do you think Blinken's trip did to ease Israeli-Palestinian tensions, and did each side really get what they wanted?
Well, Blinken's visit has nothing to do with the ceasefire, in the sense that both sides wanted an end to this. From the Israeli side, they had a list of targets, which is Hamas military leaders, which they went for. At the same time, Hamas came out of this under the theory that they were able to survive, and thus they have won the confrontation. The problem with Blinken's visit is, as your correspondent pointed out, it's just a PR stunt, and he's trying to send a message that the U.S. is basically invested in the Middle East. However, we see that their lukewarm approach to the whole issue, and particularly them making sure that Iran is not mentioned or is not implicated in what's happening in Palestine, is basically a way to divert attention. Because at the end of the day, the conflict, although it has to do with the Palestinians and the Israelis, one of the main driving forces of the tension is the fact that Hamas is being funded by Iran. And therefore, any failure to address this main challenge will basically bring about more violence in the future.
And now some Israelis and Palestinians are saying that there will be another round of clashes. What do you think would ultimately end this long-standing conflict? Is there a way out?
Well, definitely there's a way out. As long as there's war, there's also the option of peace. Peace has to come with a just solution, a solution which really addresses the main historical problem here. This is not a real estate dispute, as Netanyahu is trying to do, or under the Trump administration as they try to promote this. More importantly, I think that the Biden administration and Blinken has to realize that one of the main destabilizing factors is Iran on one side and the settlement movement which Netanyahu is taking advantage of. So certainly, in order to address these historical grievances of the Palestinian people, as well as the quest of Israel to achieve some sort of normalization and stability, the Blinken administration should have a comprehensive peace plan, not only for Palestine, but rather for the entire Middle East, starting with Syria next door, as well as trying to limit Hezbollah's hold over the region, and as well as Iran's proxy militias. At the end of the day, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict will continue if the U.S. administration decides to lead from behind. It has to lead from the front, and it has to put Netanyahu in his proper place, as well as put more pressure on Iran to stop funding Hamas.
All right, thank you so much for your analysis, Mr. Makram Rabah.